In this tutorial we will look at making a simple query in the Station Video database. A query is a tool by which you can select or filter data from a table or a number of tables in a database, and we do that by using search criteria in the query. To start it, we click on Create and go to Query Design. Next thing we need to do is select the table or tables that we want. In this case it's a member table, so we add that, close that. Now we need to get the fields of the table, and we're going to be using all the fields into the columns here in the query. So the way we do that is just simply double click each of the fields that we want, and they will appear in the columns below. Now if we run the query as it is, we will see that all the members in our member table appear. There's been no selective there's been no selection of records here. We've just printed out all of them, and the reason why is because we haven't got any selection criteria here. Now just to give you an idea of the rows along here, the first row is the field and has the name of the field. The second row is the table in which the field comes from. The third table you can actually be used to sort any of those fields. The fourth row indicates the fields that will be displayed in the output of the query. If you don't want one of these fields to be displayed, you can click on the text box to make it empty, and that will mean that the member number here would be used in the query but would not be displayed in the output. In this case we want all of them to be displayed. Now in fact what we're going to be doing for our search criteria is to put in Snob Hill as our search town. Now you'll notice that I have actually put inverted commas around Snob Hill, and the reason for that is to make sure the database understands that is text that it's searching with. If I just put Snob Hill, it may think it's a variable and look for a value which it might contain. So if we're looking for a piece of text, you need to put it in inverted commas. You also need to make sure it's in the right case, because queries are case sensitive. So if we run our query now, we can see that only those members who live in Snob Hill have appeared. So it allows us to filter that information. We can also use multiple search criteria along here to be even more specific about our data. And in fact, what we could do is we could look for only those people with Snodgrass as a surname. So if we put in Snodgrass here, and then we do another search or another run, we can see that only Beasley Snodgrass appears. So it can be quite specific. To save our query, we just simply click on the save icon and type Snob Hill, which will be the name of the query. Sorry about the Snog Hill, that's not what I'm talking about, and save it. Okay, so we now have our query saved, and it can be quite specific. So queries are quite useful tools when we want to filter or gain specific information from a database, particularly one that is huge. Queries make it so much easier to search and find information.